So guys, this is a very important video that I'm making right now. Like low-key, this video can change the trajectory of this channel and potentially the trajectory of my life. Like I'm gonna keep it a buck because you see, for so long I had this limiting belief in the back of my brain. Like, you know how I say to surpass your limits, right? Well, right now I'm doing that. I'm literally surpassing the limit that I had in the back of my mind because you see, for so long I used to think that I shouldn't ask things from God, that I shouldn't be asking things from God, because I thought to myself that it was selfish, that it was greedy, that I was asking things from him. And you see, it was selfish and it was greedy the way I did it back then, because back then I only prayed to him, I only asked things from him that would fulfill my fleshly desires and not my spirit. And you see, this is why he never actually gave me those blessings. He never gave me those things that I asked for, because it was coming from a place within. It was coming from a place that needed to be satisfied. Like I was trying to fill the void in my heart, in my soul, right? And I was trying to do this by asking for worldly things, but that wasn't God's plan. That wasn't God's purpose. And you see, you can't be asking things, you can't be praying about things that is going to satisfy you, because you're just asking from a place within to him. But rather, you should be asking so that he can bring the blessing to you, and that way you can actually receive these blessings. Because when you ask God for things, when you pray to God about things, you shouldn't be asking it out of desperation. Because when you're desperate about something, you usually grab, or you usually take whatever you can get, right? And you see, you're asking God out of desperation. You're trying to get something out of desperation. Like, oh, you need it no matter what. Like, oh, I'm desperate to receive this. But you see, when you do things out of desperation, it's usually things that you wouldn't be doing, that you wouldn't be asking for. You wouldn't be asking for certain things if you weren't desperate. But you see, you are so desperate to actually fulfill your worldly desires, your desire of your flesh, that you're not even seeing the whole point. You're not seeing the bigger picture. You're only seeing from your perspective and not his. Because God knows exactly what is best for you. And if you're going to be asking for things that seem only good for you and not good to him, obviously he's not going to give it to you. Like, it's like a little kid asking for candy, asking for all these sugary sweets. Like, for the kid, it's good for the kid because he knows he's going to be satisfied. But the father knows that this isn't healthy for him, that he's going to actually get type 69 diabetes. So he's going to actually not give the kid the candy in order to actually save his health, his wealth, and actually make the kid a better person, actually preserve the health of the kid, because the kid wouldn't be as healthy if God or the father would be giving all this candy, all these sweets to satisfy his flesh. Or say, for example, you decide to go grocery shopping while being hungry, and as you're in that store, your tummy is grumbling, it's rumbling, shout out to Attack on Naruto, and as you're in that store, you're going to be grabbing things out of desperation, out of that hunger, and you're going to be grabbing things that you usually wouldn't grab, like a box of Twinkies or a box of Hershey Kisses, because, oh, it's nice, quick, and easy to eat, and it's nice and sweet. But later on, you're going to be developing type 69 diabetes because you're trying to satisfy your flesh as quick as possible. Because the things that you pray for, the blessings that you want to receive, it's not going to come from within and out to the world. No, my boy, it's going to come from out of the world and into you. Pause. Not really. It's coming from God. It's coming from God because God is the one that is going to be sending these blessings to you. So why would you just say to him, I need something just to be satisfied? I need this. I need this. You see, all these things you're starting with you. But it shouldn't be starting with you, my boy. It should be starting with him, the way, the truth, and the life, the creator above. And this way, he could bring the blessing to you. Because in the Bible, it says, ask and you shall receive. Knock and the door shall be open to you. But you see, how can God know that you're at his doorstep if you've never knocked? How can God know what you want? How do you expect God to help you if you never even asked for help in the first place? And you see, this is God basically saying that you got to take action. Like, you know what you want. You know that you want God to answer that door. You know that you want God to help you, but you got to take that action towards it. That's why it also says in the Bible that faith without works is dead. Not to boast about your works, but basically through good faith, you will produce good works. Usually the problem is that most people don't take action towards their prayer. But you see, I've been taking that action. I've been taking action towards my goals, towards the things that I want. But you see, I haven't prayed to God about it, because if it was in his will, if it's in his will, I should be praying that if it's in his will, that it will be manifested, because I've been trying to do things on my own. Like, I've been grinding, I've been uploading videos for the past 3 months, every single day for the past 3 months on this channel, and you know, the success, the progress, it's showing, right? And I'm super grateful for that. But I haven't been praying to God about where I want to take this channel, how far I want to take this channel. And he doesn't know, like, he doesn't know how many people he wants to reach, because I've never asked him about it. And you see, if I actually start to pray and start to actually manifest this prayer, because you see, prayer is just another form of manifestation, another form of affirmation. Because if I told myself every single day that I'm blessed and highly favored, obviously I'm gonna feel fresh, I'm gonna feel blessed. And you see, if I tell myself every single day, oh, you know, I smell like dog doo-doo, you know, no one really likes me, I'm gonna be depressed and lonely for the rest of my life, obviously I'm gonna feel like dog doo-doo. So prayer is literally just another form of manifestation, of affirmation, and so that God can know what exactly that you want. Because you see, this has worked for me. Like, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, literally around this time last year, I remember I was at my grandma's, right? And I literally, at that time, I was feeling kind of down bad. Like, I didn't give into temptation, but I was like, man, I wanna cold approach a girl in real life. I wanna make friends, or like actually meet a partner in real life, right? And so I told myself, I was like, okay, God, I know that I want to do this, but I'm not gonna do this unless there is a girl that has a dog. That way, like, I could start like a conversation with this girl by like complimenting her dog and then complimenting her. But you see, I said this, right? And literally within a few hours, it manifested. Like, I literally said this in my 2023 life story video, that this girl, bro, like, when I was at the park, bro, this girl was staring me down like a hawk, bro. Like, this has never happened to me, because, you know, back in the day, down bad Tivs, gamer Tivs, he didn't go outside, he didn't touch grass, so he was very like insecure and all that, right? So this was me literally going out into the world, and this girl was just staring me down, bro. Like, she did not take her eyes off of me for a second. Like, I was just walking around, she was just like, and then, bro, I went to the fountain to get a drink, and I peeped my head over, and she's still staring at me. I'm like, yo, like, I got caught off guard. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I was kind of startled. And you see, then I went to go like sit at a bench. I'm getting a little sidetracked, but basically, I could have like had the chance to like talk to her, right? But as soon as I got that thought, then I started getting this anxiety, this fear, this like all these secondhand thoughts. And before you know it, she ended up leaving the park, and she literally glanced back at me. And you know, at that time, I felt like dog doo-doo. Like, I felt like total shit, because I felt like I fumbled. But I really feel like that this was a lesson from God, because I was trying to fulfill my desire to, like, you know, to get some hey, you know, like, I was trying to get like the satisfaction of my flesh, and I was doing that purely in the intent for my desires. And you see, I was not nowhere near as connected to God in my relationship with Jesus as I am now. Like, this was literally last year. Like, you think, oh, not much can happen in a year, but my boy, a lot can happen in a year, because at that time I had like 0 instances. I didn't even know a single Bible verse at that moment. And now I've came a long way. So now, like, I don't even care, bro. Like, who do I have to fear? Like, why should I fear man or woman when I have a God, right? Like, God is the only thing I should be fearing. And once you get to that level, my boy, there is nothing that is stopping you. So if you ever have a question, or if you just don't know the answer to something, ask God. Or if you want a certain area in your life to grow, my boy, just ask him. Like, there's like a certain Bible verse, I'll put it right here, but if you ask God for an apple, he's not going to give you a snake, right? Obviously, he'll give you an apple, like, throughout time, like, eventually, right? He's not going to give you something you didn't ask for. So, my boy, start asking. But anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. Stay blessed, stay wealthy, rebuke the kingdom of darkness, and embrace the kingdom of righteousness. And remember to keep surpassing your limits, and I'll see you guys in the next one.